بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين بارئ الخلائق أجمعين فاطر السماوات والأرضين ثم الصلاة على رسوله الكريم جد الحسن والحسين مولانا ومولى الثقلين بالقاسم محمد اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد وأهل بيته الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين الغر الميامين المحجلين ولعنة على أعدائهم أجمعين وغاصبي حقوقهم ومنكري فضائلهم من ليلنا هذا إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد فقد قال الله تعالى في كتابه الحكيم وقوله الحق بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. اللهم صل على محمد. Brothers and sisters, this is a great opportunity for me to join you again in this Imam Bargah and recite Majlis for Imam Hussain a.s. We all try to acquire knowledge to seek nearness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is the surah everyone know by heart, and most of you know the meaning of this surah too. I chose this surah because of one reason, to drive your attention toward the phenomena is occurring around the world and people are not aware of that. Normally we look at the people according to their beliefs and divide into different groups. We call someone Christian, Jew, Muslim, Hindu, and other according to whatever they practice. But unfortunately, we compare between these religious people who is in the major numbers or their population is most. But what is happening around the world, these people are not aware of that. A new religion is created and that becomes fastest growing religion. And people are converting in that religion rapidly without knowing they are belong to that religion. And that is data available on the internet. You can research and find it out. And then they call themselves agnostic. And it's very rapidly growing religion, and they are even crossing the number of so many sects or religious beliefs around the world. In certain like the countries, their numbers are really shocking, especially in Australia and Europe, and they are again coming in America and they are growing very rapidly. What is the meaning of this word, if you know? Because normally we are aware to atheist, that means persons who denounce there is no deity to worship. We know some are the believers, they believe in creation or creator, and that's called the believers. They are divided into three sects: Jew, Muslim, and Christians. Or we have like the polytheist, like people they believe more than one religion, like deity or creator. The agnostic people are they are very different. Why? Because the word came from Greek root, and that means gnostic means knowledge, agnostic means no knowledge. That means they say we cannot claim there is a deity to worship, or we cannot denounce, we cannot say there is no deity to worship. They don't go toward the atheists, but they don't go toward the believers. So why this thing happening? And why there is no church belong to them, no propagation from any agnostic people to convert other agnostic people. But still they are fastest growing. They are everywhere. These people are like growing and claiming they are agnostic without any shame, without any problem. This is we are agnostic. And mostly the people are well-educated people, they are very much respected in the society, and they slowly, and also the first person who used this word in 1886. Since that time, you see the number is very big around the world. And why it is happening? Why it is happening? Because all sects are not fulfilling their duties. They are not teaching their kids about Tawheed, about their own religion, and making them believe in a creator. So they are saying we don't believe in any creator, so we cannot say who we are. And according to our the research and our the world, every agnostic is atheist. They're going to resurrect at the day of judgment with the atheist. Because there's the only two ways. Either you believe or go into the part that people denounce and say we have no belief. They don't know, or they know. Knowingly they say there is no deity, or say we don't know about the deity, so we don't worship. Because practically they go in the same condition where the non-believers are going. So why is it happening? Because mostly churches are empty. People are not going. Because when they question about the Creator, the answer is not given to them which satisfies them, or they can convert into believer. Alhamdulillah, according to our belief, and our Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, they gave us lots of knowledge about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, about Creator, and we have the enough evidence to prove our kids. But what's happening, we have no, this is the very important part, listen carefully. We have some lessons in our Sunday school books, and we teach them about Tawheed. There's no doubt in that. But it is so weak. Many doctors are sitting here. If intensity of disease is so big, and we are giving very low potential medicine, effect not going to come. When they go to the colleges and school, they start learning about science and other subjects, they bombard from other sides to make them disbeliever. And that intensity is so high, and our teachings is so low. They never match. That's the reason. Even they are coming to majalis, they are sitting with us, they're thinking about Tawheed, but they don't have enough evidence to prove to others. Yes, they believe, but their belief is not at the level they're able to convince other people tomorrow if something happened, they may call themselves agnostic to some sort of condition. They reach at that level. So my point is that we have to change the method of teachings. Some agnostic people say because science unable to prove God exists, so we cannot believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Creator. But actually, that statement is completely false statement. Why? Because science every day proving Allah exists. So they are not looking from that point of view or perspective to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So let's start the discussion, and we have to go and teach our kids at the level they never go in that direction, or no one from our society claim he is agnostic. After participating in these many majalis, we cannot reach to that point. We have to teach our kids so they become a firm believer and also convey this message to future generations. First, let me give you 3 or 4 main points about this surah. We recite every day. Unfortunately, I don't know I will discuss here or not, but this is very important. I'm going to include all 4 subjects. There's for fiqh, aqaid, akhlaq, and ahkam in my speech. Even though I'm discussing about this tafsir of this surah in the different point of view to prove the existence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from science, from all the verses of the Quran. And I choose this the surah as my topic because you recite this surah every day in your salah. So you can focus in your salah and pay attention to meaning, and the depth of the meaning is related to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So unfortunately, majority time our kids are reciting. I'm not claiming that elder people are making mistake, but majority people, when I take test of salat, I found this mistake, 80 or 90% kids are reciting this surah incorrectly. According to Ayatollah Sistani, the salat is void. Batil, invalid. Why? Because according to Ayatollah Sistani, if you recite the Quran, if you taking breath, right, you have to convert the last sign into jazm, into silent. Right? If you are not taking breath, then you have to recite, connect the verses with the sign. This is normal. If you are knowingly making this mistake, your salat is incorrect. You understand? This you recite Quran every day. Waqf with the breath, taking breath, right, is allowed. If you're not taking breath, then you have to read with the sign. If you're not reading with the sign and you're not taking breath, your recitation considered invalid and your salat become invalid. So let me read this surah in 3 different formats. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. If you don't want to read, because they are reading the salat very fast. So normally this is not possible. You can recite the surah correctly with one breath. You normally read Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Qul Allahu ahad Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. Done. You made 3 mistakes and your surah is incorrect and your salat is not valid. Why? Because I did not take any breath, right? And I said all 5 verses without changing the appropriate sign in the end of the verse. So if I read all 5 verses together without taking any breath, surah going to Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul Allahu samad lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So you have to say all the signs, which is hard to, you never memorize all the signs, so it is not possible for normal people to read whole surah in one breath. So never try it. So let me give you another solution. If you want to read slowly, right, in 5 verses, in 5 segments, 5 different like that, separately, then you say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwallahu ahad, with the qalqala, Allahu samad, lam yalid, wa lam yulad, وَلَمْ يَكُلْ لَهُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. That's correct form. Because you are dividing all 5 verses separating all 5 verses, reciting with the qalqala, which is the end of the ayat, because the 5 dal in that, and you have to read it correctly, right? This is one. But I give you, sometimes people rush, right? They try to read faster. I give you 3rd option, which is more common, and you keep in your mind. This is the best option you have to keep. So make your salat correct. If I'm coming here giving you some tips, you have to keep in mind. So what do you say? Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad. And keep in mind, you are changing the sign. You are changing the last 2 verses sign into jazm and purposely not reading the sign because you are taking breath. And take short breath. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul Allahu ahad, Allahu samad. Right? Then all 3 verses automatically have jazm. So no need to convert. So you say, I'm going to read all 3 verses in one breath without changing any sign. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, Qul Allahu ahad, Allahu samad, lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. The last 3 verses you can read together without any change, because they already have normal jazm there. Their jazm going to work, and you can use as a, like one verse, like the way you can read all 3 verses without taking any stop. So that's going to be correct. So wonderful. Let me give you 2 other benefits of this surah. Inshallah, then we go and I give some sign for Tawheed, and we're going to inshallah remember that thing from Quran, from science, and we try to bring some good discussion about the Tawheed, so no one become agnostic. This is really, when I go research about this world and how many people are, they have maps available. How fast they are growing, because 2 countries already occupied by the atheists, right? China and Russia. Europe was among the Christian country. Australia was among Christian country. America was among Christian country. But these 3 countries are occupied by the agnostic. Majority of people are converting into agnostic people, and this is sometimes I read as a good sign, but some people read as a bad sign. And sometimes they denounce as a, we cannot say, as a, at least they are not becoming atheist. They have chance to become monotheistic. They believe in one God. So we have to work on that and try to convince them which points are. So these are 2 other amal of these things. I don't know, I mentioned here now, but this is very important. When you finish your salah, this surah is miraculous surah, very effective surah, have lots of like the effect in your life if you utilize on daily basis. What you have to do, when you finish your salat, Fajr salat or Isha salat, on these two salat, at least you remember. If you start after every salat is good. Recite this surah 6 times. Every time you recite this surah, blow your one side of 6 sides. We have 6 sides, right? Right, left, front, back, up and down, right? This 6 jihad, 6 sides. So recite 6 times. One time you recite blow one side, and second time you recite blow other side, and this. If you do so after every salat, you're going to protect it by this surah. It's going to become a shield around you and protect you from any kind of calamity, any kind of danger. So if you start doing these things, this is the effect of this surah. Use practically so you can see the effect in your daily life. One other effect of this surah, if you do so, you will see lots of benefit. If you want to become rich, inshallah, and you have like the more prosperity, this thing is taught by the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. When enter in your house, even someone is there not, say salam, recite 3 times salawat, and recite 3 times surah Tawheed, and 3 times salawat. This simple act, which you can even, you don't need to stand out the door and say, while walking through in your gate, you can do so. Before you reach to the room, you can finish this task and you receive the benefit, right? Benefit is that Prophet promised, if someone do this thing regularly, he never become poor. Allah going to increase his sustenance. So these are the benefits of this surah. Let's come now, because Tawheed is the center of our religion. Without knowing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala correctly, we cannot claim ourselves true Muslim or true follower of Allah. Because everything around the world is a witness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Whatever created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is an ayat of Allah, is proof of Allah, is give us proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So number one, very simple question we ask from our kids. They ask why I have to learn about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How I motivate myself to go this side and learn this subject. Motivation is very simple. It's a natural motivation. What is the natural motivation is, when one day you wake up in the morning, you receive a gift from someone. On your door, a bouquet, a gift. And there's no slip on that, no name, nothing, no money there. You like this gift. What are you going to do? Just use it and forget who sent to you? No. Your curiosity is going to develop. Who sent me this bouquet? Who remembered my birthday? Who sent me this gift? And you try to find out as much as possible. You're not going to feel comfortable unless you find who sent this gift to you. This is a natural human being, right? So, a smallest gift we receive, we never satisfy ourselves unless we find who sent the gift. We receive lots of gifts every day from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We have lots of like the provision around us every day. We never go behind who created this beautiful world around us and who is giving us gift of health and sustenance every day. If you go according to same curiosity, you're going to reach to the Tawheed and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is natural motivation we have to have. Without that, we are subsiding our natural instinct which Allah created to reach to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This is number one reason. Number two reason is way more convincing. Allah sent 124,000 prophets, the honest people. They taught in their life and they gave us this proof. They said we are messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is Allah who created this universe and He want to judge you according to your deeds, and we are the messenger to give you what you're supposed to perform in this world. You receive reward in hereafter. So these all messengers are not, and they came with the miracles. They performed the miracles to prove we are the messenger and selected ones, infallible, masoom, and we never lie in our life. And this is the truth we are telling you. There is a creator who created this universe, and if you obey into Him, you're going to receive reward. So this is another reason to believe and at least investigate and research about Tawheed. This is number three. another point you have to keep in your mind, to believe simple things, There is no any kind of doubt in that, right? You see, the atheists say we created by ourselves, right? There is no creator behind it. We are our own creator. If you are only your creator, then why you created yourself in this shape? You must be created yourself more beautiful than what you are. Right? You are never satisfied with your height. You are never satisfied with your color. You are never satisfied with your own, like the physics. Because if you are satisfied, then why you go to gym and make six packs? So you are doing every day to make yourself more beautiful. That means you make some changes in your body, but you are not own creator. That means we are not our, if we are our own creator, we are supposed to satisfy with our creation. This dissatisfaction is giving a proof we are not our own creator. There is creator behind us who must be known, and if you know him, you become believer and call monistic. So this is the simple logic. This we have to, if we created ourselves, then we are supposed to create in different form what we want, and we cannot change our. So these are some. They have maybe like 10 or 15 other reasons I can give to the kids. These reasons motivate them to go at least research about Tawheed and find concrete evidence to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because this is the only subject you cannot follow someone. In Usul al-Din, we are not allowed to follow someone. We have to develop our own reasoning to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If we are not believing in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that means we don't consider Muslims. Mawahid. We have to develop our own reasoning. And reasoning must come from proof. And proofs are available everywhere. These are the proofs. Let me give you some proof so you can believe in that, inshallah. And the proofs are given by our Imams. It's mentioned in the Quran and available in the many science books. And every day when science is finding new evidence about many like creations, they prove this is the proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's a creator behind it. And most of people are going in that direction, which we have to use for that. So any creature you see in the world, number one, whatever you see there's three things in that. Number one, they have the purpose of the life. This is number one. Number two, they have the coordination with other creatures. They have the cycle, whole life cycle related to other things. That's called a coordination with other things. And number three, they have perfection in their own creation. And three things never come into existence without a creator who make these three things are coordinating together, and they can exist without any problem. Any creature you can check and you're going to find these things. Anything. Even in the Jamadat means non-living beings. In living beings like plants and animals, or maybe human beings. Everywhere you're going to find these things. This phenomena exists. Allah said, I'm going to show you my evidence in your own soul and in other creations, in afaq. I'm going to show my proof in that, and proofs are everywhere. So I'm going to give you some proof related to that, which are new, and inshallah, these going to be good assets for our kids. If you recite loud salat, please. This is simple, number one. And all the proofs also, whenever you're proving the Tawheed, this is one good thing, remember. You see buy one get one free? You heard? In Tawheed this thing is available, right? When you learn about Tawheed, justice is going to be automatically taught with that. Wherever is Tawheed, justice is with that automatically, without any doubt. So we say Tawheed, Adl, Nabuwat, Imamat and Qayamat, right? We have 5 fundamental beliefs. Our Sunni brothers, they believe 3 fundamental beliefs. We have no argument with it, fine. But we have some like logical question, so they have to answer, right? According to us, if they believe there is only 3 articles of faith, Tawheed, Nabuwat and Qayamat, then the question is that when last prophet is already went back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then the last one is Qayamat. then Qiyamah must come. As soon as Prophet left the earth, Qiyamah must be occurred. If Qiyamah is not coming, that means something is missing. What is our like the beliefs? Tawheed, Adl, Nabuwat, Imamat and Qiyamah. So according to us, Imamat is in between the Qiyamah and the prophethood. So Qiyamah is not coming because last Imam is still alive. This is the proof of our 5 Usul-Din. Why believe in 5 Usul-Din? Because this is the proof of our 5 Usul-Din. Qiyamah is still waiting because we are waiting for our last Imam. So this one. So other, they don't believe in justice or other. There is another argument, but we believe the other justice. Wherever Tawheed is there, justice is there. So I give you guys one simple thing. And this is the proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because I am proving justice to Tawheed. Sometime I am going to prove the Tawheed to the justice. Okay, let's go. Everyone believe in the gravity, right? Anyone sitting here have doubt about the gravity? No. Okay. You ever seen the gravity? No, right? But you feel the gravity. Not in the way the people are coming back when they feel. When the astronauts go to the like this space, when they come back, they feel the gravity. Because they came from zero gravity. So when a person coming from the zero gravity, they reach to the earth, they feel the gravity. Because we are living in the gravity, we never feel the gravity. That is our problem. But if gravity is like this is the proof of other. We believe this gravity is little more than what we need. Then if you walk few steps, we will be tired. If gravity is less than what we need, you see what happened on the moon? You have to put some kind of weight on yourself, otherwise you're going to fly. You cannot control yourself, right? So this is the justice of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah created the perfect amount of gravity in the earth, so you never bother. When you live on the earth, you walk flawlessly and you never have any problem in your existence. Because Allah said, I created the gravity, so you live in the gravity. Either you claim yourself, I created gravity, or you believe someone is created behind it. And whoever created it, he also created in right amount, and that is the proof of his justice. So justice and like Tawheed goes together. You cannot, like they said, the justice and Tawheed is separate. Justice and Tawheed is always together. Let me give you another example. I gave you when I said the majlis about the eyes. I said majlis about eyes, right? So if you remember, this is very good majlis about the eyes. Whole detail about eyes. Eyes is one of the greatest gift of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know. And I gave you the point. One point if you remember. But if you want to concentrate in your salat, never close your eyes. As soon as you close your eyes, you're not on the musalla. You're going to be in market and somewhere else. If you want to concentrate in your salat, the one recommended thing for the salat, keep your eyes open all the time. No place. You are allowed to close your eyes. It's makruh to close your eyes. Even in sajda. Even in sajda, you have to keep your eyes open. Why? Because if you control your eyes, you control your mind. You control your mind, you can connect where you want. If you just lose the control from your eyes, your brain going to go where you want to go. You cannot control your brain. You can control your brain only through your eyes in the salah. That's the only reason. So why Allah gave you 2 eyes? Because some people, because one eye have some problem, still you can see. No. One eye see only 2D pictures, and 2 eyes see 3D pictures. Because Allah created these 2 eyes for purpose, and they are, what is the point of justice? I say justice and proof of Tawheed is together. If Allah created, you see, I call in Arabic ayn. Ayn has 70 meaning. Ayn means knee. Think for a moment. If Allah created your eyes on the knee, what will happen? You cannot see yourself. What is up? It's difficult for you. If you fell down, your eyes are going to be gone. Allah created the most beautiful gift as most secure place. And give you at least 6 protection for the eyes, you can see without any problem. So this is like the proof of that. If we are our own creator, we created eyes where we want. But Allah created because He wants to know what is best for you, and you can utilize it without any problem. We make our eyes sick or not utilize as we are supposed to use because of our ability. But Allah created its best form, and this is the proof of Tawheed. But I give you many, this you can go, now it's your job, not my job, right? You check your own body. Every part of your body you touch, right? You feel there is a miraculous and flawless creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I taught yesterday in my class City of Knowledge, when I go there teach to the English school, I said justice does not mean equality. Otherwise you all 4-5 fingers going to be same size. If they are same size, you don't have that strength of your hand, right? So Allah created what you need in perfect form, right? Allah created in perfect form, right? Why Allah created in perfect form? Because Allah wants to give you the witness. I exist and I created you. And I created you in best form because this is the proof of my existence. If you give me one moment beside this subject, can I give you some good thing about the akhlaq, right? If you are still paying attention, sometimes you see when people are quiet, either they are understanding 100% or either they are not understanding at all. See, today was Friday, right? How many people cut their nails today, right? Raise your hand, please. I want to just know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You know, there's the manners for cutting the nails, right? Because Allah gave you fingers, right? Fingers have nails. Nails have very beautiful function for you, right? And you have to cut your nails. You know, there's a special way to cut your nails, a special day to choose, and you have like effect if you do so. Go read a book written by Allama Majlisi, Hilyatul Mustaqim, and they mention all the different mustahbat for your routine, for your daily life, right? One of that, you cutting your nails. You see, according to Imam Muhammad Baqir alayhi salam, God exists. This is proof of that, guys. Listen, I'm making as a 2 point. Number 1, I'm teaching a correct practice of cutting nail and also proving the tawheed through that. Okay. So what Imam Muhammad Baqir says, if you cut your nails, start from your left small finger. Where you start? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I have brochure I can give you, inshallah. This special dua. Say Bismillah wa billahi ala sunnate Rasulillah. Say Bismillah, start cutting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You start from left small finger and end up to right hand. If you do, and especially cut on Friday. There's other practice you can cut other days. This Wednesday, if you have sickness of eyes, sometimes people have other Imam, 6th Imam recommended someone, he complained for his problem of his eyes, Imam said to cut on Wednesday. But normally it's highly recommended to cut. If somehow if you want to cut on Thursday, leave one nail for Friday and cut on Friday. So you remember this is the day Allah recommended to cut our nails. What is the benefit? Prophet said you get 3 benefits. If you cut in this form, 3 benefits. Number 1, your health is going to be secure. Your wealth is going to be secure. Your life is going to be prolonged. Besides Allah, please. This today, you miss today, so remember to the next Thursday. I'm not going to be here, right? And next Friday. But you have to remember my words. Not down somewhere. I will give you the brochure. There's all the hadiths are there from our Imams. So who is securing? And it's 100%. Even some people say, you see, we don't have the nail. You see, even file your nails, if some the small things fell down from there, filing your nails, some powder drop from there, is still okay. Still you receive sawab. Still you receive sawab. So if you're doing so, you receive. So we have to know the procedure. We have the procedure for everything. If there is no God, there is no teaching, no prophet came, they never taught a special way to do these things, and we never receive sawab. If we are receiving sawab, that means whoever teaching these things, behind is the knowledge. If this knowledge is not came from their own mind, this knowledge is given by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that it is connected, prophethood is connected to tawheed. So whenever I cut my nails, actually I am connecting to tawheed and nubuwwat and imam. Because I am applying their teachings in my life. When I am applying their teaching, that's why I am connected to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So you please do so. This is the one of the highlight model. And next thing, you have to bury your nails. Never leave on the floor. We have heard from the ulama, if someone walk on your nails, they're going to become your enemy. So never leave your nails on the floor. You have to cut in small like the clothes, maybe napkin, something, and immediately get it, and go dig some ground and bury the nails. Do not throw in the garbage, do not throw somewhere else, please do so. You see the effect soon. So this is the proof. This is proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And because these things are growing, Allah never gave any kind of sensitivity in that, so you can cut, you never feel anything. This is again proof. This is proof. Without nails, your hands have no strength. Your toes have no strength. It's strength in you because this is the design of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, flawless design for you. But let me give you one important thing. Now go to the one. We are not going to examine our own self and find that we have millions of evidence in our own body. You see, our brain, our mind, everything is, you cannot even imagine how they work. Our own brain has functions, still the human being all together researching about it, they never reach to the conclusion how it's working and what kind of miracles things happening inside. You see, trillions of chemical reactions happening every second in our brain. This is true, there's no doubt in that. Because our body have trillions of cells. All cells are guided by the brain. And brain is sending signals to them to have the proper function. And each cell have hundreds of functions every second. And these functions are controlled by the brain. Your temperature, your movement, your everything, voluntary, involuntary, everything is happening through your brain. So we cannot even understand our brain. How can we understand the creator who created this beautiful brain for us? It is possible. But let me give you one special things, inshallah, and this may be a greater proof. Because even Allah created the smallest creature, give perfection in that. And sometimes we say, why Allah created this thing and maybe harmful to us. No creature is harmful. All creatures are created for a purpose. Every creature have a purpose and they have their own boundaries. They never come to the man to harm them unless men are doing something wrong. Allah want to examine them or punish them. This is another thing. Okay. You heard about the mosquitoes? There's a big lecture about mosquito. I give you only 3 or 4 things about mosquito. You have very limited time. Listen. As soon as our kids see, they scare. This is the sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah mentioned the name of mosquito in the Quran. It's called Ba'uza. Right? Why Allah mentioned in the Quran the mosquito? Because Allah want to teach the Tawheed through that. Allah want to teach Tawheed through that. So they are harmful, they create malaria, they create dengue, they create this and Maulana, if Allah never created these mosquitoes, we have better life. No, you don't have better life. You have no fruit in your basket. Mosquitoes are vegetarian, They're vegans. Recite Salawat. No, the bites, they suck the blood. No, not all the mosquitoes. Only the female mosquitoes need the blood of human being for nourishing their eggs on certain time, not every day, not every time. No male mosquito bites any human being in their life. You never heard it. Who will be such a Only female mosquitoes bite only when they need to nourish their eggs, because they need a special kind of protein which only exists in human being and in their blood. But they're not harming you. You see, the harm is come from other ways. This is another discussion. Why the malaria and dengue, these things coming? This is the punishment from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For mankind, because of Allah said, if you are doing new sin, I am going to send a new disease for you. To give you warning and also forgive your sin. That's the other reason. But normally they are not harmful. They're like the body is designed like matchable, or you cannot like even imagine how perfect Allah created their body. Especially remember only thing, I have at least like the 40 things about mosquito to discuss with you, but I'm just giving you 3 things to prove the Tawheed from their life. I have whole separate majlis about the mosquito, inshallah. But I give you 3 because we try to prove the Tawheed through every creature. Okay. Number 1, they can find the veins of human being better than any doctor. Right? Because when doctors try to like the give injections or take your blood for blood test, and trained doctors and nurses, they miss. But mosquito never miss their shot in their life. They never miss their shot. Why? Because they have the well-equipped body to find your veins in darkness. They never use their eyes. They use 2 things. Number 1, they have a scanner, right? And number 2, they have sense of temperature. The temperature, we normally have the ability to find, like the temperature level is maybe 100, 200, 300, 1 to 1000 there. 1000 times more than our ability, they can sense the temperature. There, like the thermometer is much effective and more sensitive than ours. This is one thing. Very easily they can find. Number 2, they scan our body, come and just sit on the right place to prick and get the blood and run out before you kill them. This is their perfection. But the problem is there. Where's the Tawheed is? These all things are not yet. Remember, this is the major part to remember and teach the kids. If any person said I'm agnostic, so I make you believer if you come with me. Okay. So what? As soon as you know, our body have a special like design. Whenever you cut, right? You have a special like the procedure in your blood. As soon as they come into like the oxygen, they become clot, right? So if any mosquito is sucking blood from your vein, if they remain in the like the tube, it's clotted there. Next time they cannot suck any blood, they die. So what are created in the body? They have a special chemical. Before they prick, right, inside your body, okay, they never like the push any kind of hard things, they don't have. This is called prosbocus. Special things, this kind of sort and things, they normally sit and make a cut and go slowly in your body like a doctor. He is operating, they make that kind of procedure and then prick their nose inside the blood and send blood. Before, so this blood, so I created a special kind of chemical in their body. First they put on your like the skin, and this is kind of like chemical is numb your skin so you don't feel when they prick. When they go inside with the suckle blood, the same thing is anti-clotting things, not clot their blood. So this one chemical doing dual things. One is making your like skin numb so you don't feel. It's kind of giving you anesthesia, right? They have anesthesia, and also same thing with that is antidote. So which university this mosquito learned this like chemical formula to develop in their body and survive in their life? So there's one chance. You say nature created. So why is nature not created in your body? When you have blood clot, there must be something created itself in your body. But no, if blood clot in our body, we die immediately. The cardiac arrest, right? Thrombus. But in their like the body, they have that kind of chemical. That means Allah make them in that form to prove His Tawheed. If I ask any human being to answer this question from point of view you believe in that, you believe either atheist or either like the agnostic, they cannot come with the answer. Only one answer which is fit with this phenomena is there is a creator behind it which equipped this small creature to survive and benefit the other people. This is the proof. You see, go and see, study microscopically, and you can find the answers of Tawheed. The answers of Tawheed are hidden in all the creatures, but you have to dissect, you have to go in deep and study, and these studies are coming out. The studies are coming out and they are giving. This science is proving. So we ask, okay, science proved these are the things. We only ask one questions. It developed by itself from single cell or from like idea you believe, Big Bang Theory, or there is a creator, an intelligent designer behind it who designed everything perfectly to give you a better life on the earth. That means a designer who designed everything for you, so a better life on earth. And this is called Karamat al-Rahmat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is giving you everything to survive. So there are so many things about it, maybe 40 things about this creature to study and find. You can go research and you're going to find shocking things about a small creature. Even you cannot see correctly sometimes, and Allah created in that form can survive and have benefit for you, not harmful for human beings. This is beneficial because they're mostly like the crops. They have fertilized because they have fruits because of these creatures. They have the whole like majlis about him. This is the God. Go inshallah study. So these are the proof of Tawheed. Go study about these small creatures. Recently the finding, you see most our like the environmentalists or people are just, especially they are giving you idea about rain and something, when the weather going to change and when rain going to fall. Their idea is not correct, right? Whenever they announce, sometimes you don't find the announcement is true, right? Because when they are giving you like possibility of rain, the rain is not falling. Because their like equipments or whatever they have, even they have like the satellites, they are watching all the movement of clouds from them. But a small creature like creator of the earth and have 100% accuracy about the rain. 100% accuracy. Why? Allah created a small gland inside the body and they can feel the smallest change in the temperature and especially the smallest change in the like the air. If they find any kind of like the change in the air which have the water substance, they can feel first. And as soon as they feel, they run away from the earth and go in the safe place and save their life. So then Allah informed them before they inform us. That means they are more powerful than us. We cannot find when it's going to rain. But they find when it's going to rain. That means Allah equipped them and this is necessary for their survival. Rain is good for us. Why Allah did not create that kind of like the things in our body? Because it's not necessary for us. It's necessary for their survival. So Allah gave them that kind of ability to find when rain is going to fall before we find out. So these are the proof of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because Allah is creating every creature what they need for their life to have the better life and survive in these circumstances. This is only possible with the belief of Tawheed. Otherwise, why not this same gland is exist in the mosquito? Why it's not same gland is exist in other things? If one single cell is developing, they have to have everything. People are greedy, they want to get whatever they want. But they are not their own creator. Creator is behind this, who is making these are the perfect designs. So if we study, these things must be taught to our kids with the science. I have thousands of things. I never like that get chance to discuss the Tawheed Mufassal, which is Imam Jafar Sadiq alayhi salam. Taught to the Mufassal. They have almost more than 100 reasoning to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, because small kids are sitting, they are bored, so I'm going to give you something. You learn this thing in your like the class, right? And I just remind you, right? Because this story is mentioned without the name of the person who actually did it. This is from Sheikh Saduq. This story is actually from him, but it's mentioned in the books without his name. But fine, you have to like read the story and find out. And this is the debate between atheist and Saduq. Because there was a king and he had doubt, he was like agnostic. You know, this story actually says this, he has doubt about he accept the view of atheist or believe according to the believers claiming there is a creator. So this lets me find out with the debate of these two people. If these two people debate together, atheist and the believers, whoever win, I'm going to accept his point of view. So he announced in my court, all the atheists going to come and all believers going to come. They sent a representative, they debate together, and whoever win, I'm going to accept his belief. So all the atheists, they arrive on time and sit in the court and waiting for the believers' representative to come and they can discuss with him and prove there is no God exists. But 1 hour passed, 2 hours passed, 3, 4, 5 hours. They're waiting. And the believers' representative, Shaykh Qudus, never arrived. So they said, because he had no proof for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that's the reason he is not coming. Let's finish the debate and he'll become atheist. And suddenly he arrived. And he arrived, he said, why you are late? He said, I'm late because of one reason. When I coming from my home to reach here, there was a big river in my way. And when I reached to the river, there was no boat. So I was waiting for the boat, but there's no boat. Suddenly what I found, a tree fell down. And as this tree fell down, it's automatically cutting into pieces. And what I saw surprisingly, all pieces start joining together. And after a short time, a beautiful boat was ready for me. So I ride on that boat and I came. It took a bit more time. And I say, he's a liar. I cannot accept. You cannot like the debate with him. He's lying. He said, why I'm lying? Because it's not possible. A tree can fall itself, cut into pieces itself, join together in right size, and become a boat, and you can ride and come. So this is a big lie, and we cannot debate with the lie. They say, okay, that's fine. They say, I'm a small liar, but you are a bigger liar. Why? Because a small boat cannot be made by itself. How come the whole universe can be made by without a creator? Recite Salawat, please. So then the king said, okay, the believers are wrong. Because this is the proof. The smallest things which is useful cannot be made by itself. That means the whole universe cannot be made by itself, which is more complex, more like shocking. You see, this phenomena is really not understandable sometimes. What's happening in our body, what's happening around the world is not possible for us to understand exactly as Allah created. Only if we study, we can get at least that much, so we can consider ourselves true believers. So inshallah, because this is the reason I discuss this subject today, because if you go and ask your friend, either they claim themselves they are believer, or they're going to say we are agnostic. So please do not accept any point of view without researching correctly, and go to the right people to learn from them and keep your belief firm without any doubt. That's our duty. That's the benefit of coming to the majalis, so you can learn the reasoning why we believe in that. Why we have a true belief, because of Ahlul Bayt gave us enough reasoning to claim ourselves as true believers. So I'll give you some, inshallah, now your duty to find it out. Now I give you homework, guys. You're sitting here, right? You do homework? Okay. Select 5 different creatures, right? And find their special qualities, right? And see these qualities developed by themselves, or Allah gave them because of environment they exist and survive, right? I give you some, they are very good, like the reasoning to research, right? Especially you go and check about the camels. They have lots of signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Cow have special words in the Quran. How they develop like the milk, how they produce milk. You can go and research about like the any kind of, you see, you ever seen the bed? Right? The radar system is much powerful than American or Russian radar system. Do you believe any radar system coming to exist by falling some pieces of iron? Or there's many engineers work day and night for many years to develop that thing, right? And their radar system is more complex than any radar system. Their radar system is unbelievable. Go and research about it. So I'll give you some examples. Go and start, inshallah. Go and study about it. And inshallah, you will find some good answers about Tawheed, inshallah. You have to, at least, what is your duty? As a true believer, you at least have 100 reasons to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with scientific evidence. You have to have it. And you try to teach these things to others whenever they come across to you and want to debate with you. Even though if you try to propagate religion, this is the best way to do. Best service to religion, and Allah is going to really please with you. If you perform your salat with that kind of the belief, your one rakat is going to be equal to 1,000 rakat. Sometimes we pray, we never have the attention to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who He is and what kind of gift He is bestowed on us. We don't have it. So inshallah, do it. And this is the reason Imam Hussain sacrificed his life. His sacrifice is because he wants to save the Tawheed. People remain believer, otherwise Yazid already claimed there is no revelation of God. There is no creator and there is no prophet. That is the only a gimmick of Bani Hashim to rule on Arab times. This is claim. This is like the Asharis, like the poetries mention all the Sunni book and Shia books. There is no doubt in that. But today you hear the azan of La ilaha illallah and Muhammad Rasulullah from all the masajid. This is the claim of victory of Imam Hussain. This is proof of victory of Imam Hussain. Yazid tried to destroy the religion. Imam Hussain wanted to save the religion. And today, because the religion is saved, this means Imam Hussain became victorious. He won the battle of Karbala. Even he sacrificed his life. You know, yesterday was Thursday. And this story is related to Thursday. Let me just mention as an aside and remember when Nawab kept as a prisoner, they brought to the Kufa first. They presented in front of the Ibn Ziyad, and after that they captured in a jail, especially in the house. They have very dark and a small place. Even all the captives cannot breathe easily. Because of shortness of the kids try to come out at the door and try to breathe. You know, when the small kids, they are standing there, they have beautiful face because they belong to Bani Hashim family. They are innocent kids. They're standing there. Some person was passing from there. What he saw that some kids are standing there. They have like a very pale face. The hunger and thirst is visible from their face. He said, you belong to a very nice family. Why you came into jail? Why you kept as a prisoner here? They said, we belong to family of the Prophet and we are orphans. The Prophet never taught you how to treat the orphans, and he started crying. He went to home. When he went to home, he asked his wife, every Thursday you prepare some food and try to give to orphans and needy people. I saw today some orphans and needy I never seen before. So can you take the food today with me to give these people in place of you are serving others before? He said, yes, I'm going to go with you. You know, these both prepared some food and brought to the Imam Zainul Abidin Islam. They tried to give to Imam Zainul Abidin Islam, but Imam Zainul Abidin Islam said, go and give to my aunt, she's sitting there. And they brought the food and gave to Imam Hazrat Zainab Salamullah Alaiha. As soon as Zainab saw the food, she remembered the thirst and hunger of Rasul Az-Zahra, thirst and hunger of Qasim and honor Muhammad. She asked, I cannot serve this food to my kids because we are Sadat and Sadqa is not permissible for us. It's haram on us. Tell us what kind of food you brought for us. We cannot take the Sadaqah. And the lady, she brought the food, she started crying. She said, baby, don't say this is Sadaqah. This is the Nazr. You say, what kind of Nazr is that? He said, this is the Nazr of Imam Hussain. He said, why you are doing the Nazr of Imam Hussain? She said, because this is a responsibility. I was a small child and I felt sick. When I felt sick, my father took me to the Prophet ﷺ to ask if he pray for me, my sickness going to remove. I become healthy. So I went to the Prophet ﷺ. When I reached to the Prophet ﷺ, what I found, Prophet was sitting with the Imam Hussain ﷺ. He was a small child at the time. He was sitting on the lap of the Prophet ﷺ. When my father requested for prayer from the Prophet ﷺ, Prophet ﷺ asked Imam Hussain to pray for me. And Imam Hussain raised his hands and asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me cure. Since that day, I never felt sick. So this is my responsibility to ask health and long life for Imam Hussain. So every Thursday, I cook some food and I distribute to the orphans and needy people on behalf of Imam Hussain. Imam Hussain give long life to Allah, give long life to Imam Hussain. Bibi Zainab asked, do you know anyone else from their family? And she brought her face close to the ear of Bibi Zainab Salamullah and slowly said, yes, I know the Bibi Zainab and Kulsum Salamullah. And the Bibi Zainab said, oh lady, stop doing this nazar anymore. Why? Because the Imam Hussain is martyred in the Karbala. This is the orphan of Imam Hussain Islam. This is the Sakina, daughter of Imam Hussain, sitting right here. And these all the kids are belong to family of Imam Hussain Islam. Why? Because Imam Hussain martyred in the Karbala. And I'm the sister of Imam Hussain, and these are the orphans of Imam Hussein's family. I'm going to say, oh Bibi Zainab, you receive the food, but this is the Messiah of Imam Zainul Abidin, because we're going to commemorate the Shahada of Imam Zainul Abidin. You know, Imam Zainul Abidin asked from Bibi Zainab Salamullah, oh my aunt, you are alim ghair al-maulama. You got the knowledge without any teacher taught you, and you are today sitting and offering your salat. You know, if someone is healthy and offer his salat while sitting, his salat is not acceptable. Why you are sitting and offering your salat? And Zainab start crying and say, oh my Zainul Abidin. Reason is that whenever Yazid is sending food and water for the kids, it's very minimum amount. They cannot feed by that food. So I always give my share to them, and that's the reason regularly I'm doing these things. So I cannot have enough strength to survive and offer my salat while standing. And Imam Zainul Abidin start crying. You say, oh my aunt, you reach on this condition, you are giving your food to the kids and you are not eating and drinking. So thirst and hunger of Imam Hussain is till the day of Ashura. But thirst and hunger of Bibi Zainab, Imam Zainul Abidin, continuously with them until they freed from the court of Yazid, from the prisoner of Yazid. I'm going to say, Bibi Zainab, that's the reason when you reach to the Medina and Imam reached to the Medina and you enter in your house and you was crying there. Suddenly Abdullah entered and say, oh lady, please do not cry right here, because right now my wife Zainab going to come and she going to visit. She going to think I'm just performing the azah of my sons on Muhammad, and I'm not going to remember and commemorating the azah of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Bibi Zainab lifted her head and says, Abdullah, you did not recognize me. I'm your Zainab. I'm your Zainab. And she said, oh Zainab, when you left the Medina, you was looking completely different. But when you come back, I cannot recognize you, because is that Hazrat Zainab Salamullah alaiha, she was suffering from the day they stopped the water until she come back to the Medina. Hazrat Zainab received the welcome from the Janab Abdullah, but the form he cannot recognize his own wife, because all the changes occur in the life of Zainab Salamullah alaiha. سيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون.
जालिमों ने लूटा है हाय घर पैगंबर का का, जालिमों ने लूटा है हाय घर पैगंबर का। हाय क्या खजा छाई गुलशने मोहम्मद पर,